Welcome to another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. Today is Thursday, May the 5th, 2022. Today we have the privilege of speaking with Miss Marylee Robinson of Louisiana, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So she's going to enlighten us. We actually spoke with her mother on yesterday in regards to the issue that happened in St. Charles Parish with Marylee as well as her brother. So we're going to hear from her as to what actually happened on that night. So how are you, ma'am?
Um, I'm hurting. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm making it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
When you mean hurting, what do you mean, like physically?
concussion,
Oh
back,
wow,
wrist pains, basically body pains, aching more now since it's a few days later.
wow, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and it's unfortunate that we have to meet under these circumstances. But we're here to shed light on what actually happened to you. Now, tell us what happened to you the other night.
Well, I had just pulled up home and I went inside with my kids and I heard a knock on the door. I thought it was my kids making noise in the living room, but it was a quick knock. Somebody was knocking on the door to aware me that my brother was being handcuffed, and because he was always handcuffed the wrong way or beating up on handcuffs, we
Mm-hmm.
when it happens.
Right.
So when I came outside, I put the phone on record immediately. They had him halfway on the ground. I was telling them, lay down on the ground, don't move, put your hands behind your back. The lady deputy told me not to walk past this car. This is her line. Do not walk past the car. So I walked in my
Mm-hmm.
cousin to footage it a little better. Telling him, to participate, just
Mm-hmm.
put your hands, where they telling you to put your hands there, stand still, and asking him why you
Right.
handling him so rough because he's giving himself to you. Why are you handling him so rough now?
Mm-hmm.
So they brought him on the other side of the truck and was handling him. They shoved him on the other side of the truck. So I walked on the other side, like in the street a little bit, but a good distance away,
Mm-hmm.
to footage it. And I'm gonna say about 2 or 3 minutes standing up, footage in it. The deputy came straight for me. I took off running with my phone in my hand. My wig was pulled off.
Right.
You know, my wig was pulled off. That's how I was grabbed. I was slung up against a modular home, and I was beaten on. After surrendering, my phone was, I was fought. My phone was. I had to fight for my phone because I
Mm-hmm.
used to record.
Right.
So it's kind of hard. And even when I got up, like they only had two deputies out there on the scene at the time.
Okay.
The deputy that was fighting me and the lady deputy that turned her back to keep the crowd away. So she
Mm-hmm.
really didn't see nothing that was going on. And
Wow.
then on top of that, the lady who trailer I was slammed up against, she was still on the phone at the time calling 911. That's what made more dispatches come out. When the
Mm-hmm.
other dispatchers came out, they was telling the other deputy, just to leave, go get in the car, leave or whatever like that. The one who handled me rough, um, he was still confident with trying to shove me into the police car, and and I'm like, why are you still putting your hands on me? Because you just put your hands on me for no reason, and you're
Right.
still trying to shove me in a car. I'm only 5'2", 147 pounds. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure you're like 6, 300 and something pounds. That was a lot of weight, like,
Right.
and I felt like I was gonna lose my life for everything that I've seen already. I felt like I was gonna lose my life.
I'm sure. Now, why did that officer try to attack you? Well, they don't try. He did attack you.
Yeah.
Versus the lady, because in listening to you, the lady officer was telling you that this is her line, right? Don't come across this line. So, what did he have to do? Like, what if you know what will make him come to you when you're not? He hasn't given you anywhere to stay out of. Meaning,
Well, I don't know. I was in the article. It says that he said I ifed at him, but I never ifed at him. It had other people recording me recording him.
right?
So where that came from, I just know he didn't tell me freeze. He came straight for me. He didn't tell me freeze. He didn't tell me stop. He didn't say back up, give us some more room. He didn't say anything. He just came straight for me. So my intention was to run,
Right.
like
That's right.
chase
Mm-hmm.
me. go where you know it'll be a little more safer for you. Not think he will cross the line and actually come all the way for me.
Right. I definitely understand. Um, so I'm trying to I'm really baffled as to why he would do this, because I actually watched the video of him attacking you, and it doesn't make sense at all, and but it doesn't make sense on his end. But I will say, far as what, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. What I was saying was, I actually watched the body cam video, right?
Mhm.
And in watching the body cam video, it actually corroborates what you're actually saying.
Mhm.
You know, but that happened, and I saw when he ran towards you and you went to take off, which any ordinary person would do.
Would do.
Um, but
I was
when you,
scared, like I'm recording someone for safety because I know he's have gotten beaten on before getting handcuffed. That's
mhm,
my brother. So I said the next time it happened, I was going to get it on footage because none of us even thought to put it on footage the first time. We
right,
were called afterwards. But I said whenever I catch it again, I was going to record it. And I didn't cross the line the deputy told me to cross. I went through the yard. And up on
mhm.
going through the yard, I said I will respectfully not cross your line, but I will go through this yard and keep recording this footage.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you recording, anyone recording, it isn't against the law. I don't know
Hmm.
what the laws are there, but I'm sure there's probably nationwide that you can record. And my,
Yes.
my thing is, where did all these charges come from that you now have?
Well, I know when I was picked up off the ground, I was forced. One of my arms he already had. The other one he was forcing to get because he was trying to get my phone. I still don't have my phone now. It's in evidence. So I don't know why it's being held. I'm not sure.
Right.
But I don't even know why I was being charged that. I didn't have that understanding. It took about 7 hours for them to book me.
Wow.
I don't like, and I was asking, I'm like, can I at least be told my charges? My first mind was resisting arrest, but how am I resisting arrest when I wasn't told freeze? I wasn't told stop. Like I didn't understand it.
Right.
And the assault to when I got in the police car, I'm I'm dealing with anxiety. I take two different
Mhm.
medicines for anxiety. So when I got
Okay.
in the police car after all of that happening to me, thinking about everything that happened, it was like my adrenaline rushing. I'm ready to get out of here. What am I in here for? So I was
Mhm.
like trying to get out the car, kicking, like let me out. The officer who had put his hands on me, after they told him step to another police car, he walked up
Mhm.
to the car and grabbed me by my shoulder and shoved me in the car while the other deputy already had his hand on me. So when I turned around, I was already hollering, cutting out loud,
Mhm.
and upset, scared. So I tried to spit on him. I did. I
Mhm.
spit on him because I'm like, I went through all of this. My hands behind my back. You're detaining me a little too tight now. Give me at least the benefit of the doubt. You
Right.
did. I'm pretty sure you got accomplished what you needed to get done.
Mhm.
Like, and I went to spit on him, but he jumped back. And the officer who was trying to put me in the car the first time, it was like a little shower. It wasn't even a hog spit or nothing like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
those charges came along with that, and
So what did they actually charge you with?
they charged me with resisting arrest. I believe it was charges against two cop cars, like damaged property. A charge against the officer for spitting on him. Um, and I think it was two other charges, but I only knew four when they showed it to me. When they
Mhm.
actually booked it, it was like 6, 7 charges. I'm not even sure. I still haven't seen no articles. I haven't seen nothing really on the news. I just don't want to revisit it right now.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. So, and I'm sure it is definitely, it keeps playing back, in your mind, and especially for, I can't imagine how you feel or what you're thinking, because this came out of nowhere. You didn't do anything. This wasn't warranted at all.
Yes.
Can I speak to Mr. Jermaine for a
Sure.
second, please? How are you, Jermaine?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, my name is Jermaine Luckett. I'm an investigator with the NAACP, the Baton Rouge chapter.
Great. Okay, now you've seen the videos, correct?
Mhm.
And you've spoken with her as well as I'm sure other people that were out there. What is your take on what happened and where do we go from here?
Well, to be honest with you, I think this is from everything that I've learned so far, I think this is a town where law enforcement has gotten comfortable. The
Mm-hmm.
has been uncontested for the past 30 years. So they pretty much have free reign to do what they want to do. Even the cover story that they gave, saying that she the taser was under her and he was trying to get the taser. They was fighting for the taser, but one arm is covering her head, the other hand is holding the phone while she's still trying to record. And plus, he gave his taser away after he tased Keith.
Place
So,
right, that's right.
and the fact that the sheriff would actually stick to that story is kind of crazy to me. Not only that, the
Mhm.
officer is still on duty. Um, there's an investigation internally, supposedly, but he's still on duty. He just was sent to another neighborhood. So, I
So
mean, that
they
says a
hold on,
lot.
let me stop you right there, Jermaine. So they if there's an investigation going on, instead of taking him off the street, they just placed him in another area. But he's
Correct.
still with the department, still working. And
Correct. And it's ironic that this officer got like Officer of the Year or something like that last year. And of course, the sheriff is telling me that they have a stellar communications and relationship with the neighborhoods, but I'm finding out that's just not true.
hmm so where do we go from here? Being that okay, now you work for the NAACP and you are an investigator. What is it that you actually do?
What I do is, whenever something like this happens, I come in with an unbiased opinion, look at all of the evidence, and ensure that the officers have not violated any civil rights or anything like that. In some cases, the officers are in the right. In most
Mhm.
cases, they are not. In Louisiana, regretfully, I'm able to say this, that there is a trend for police brutality here, and it often goes unlooked because people are just too afraid to talk.
Wow. So, in your professional opinion, being that you just stated that most people are afraid to let everybody know what's going on or to actually talk about whatever issue happened. Being that she recorded, and like I said, I don't know if it's against the law in the state that you guys are in, but I know as far as Virginia, it's not. Is that against the law to record?
It is not against the law, but one of the reasons they took her phone was because she recorded, and she had a pretty much the best view of what was going on, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, on you could actually hear exactly what's being said. So they're trying to keep the video out of public eye,
Wow.
and the notion that keeping in mind too, they said that the reason they were on the street was because they get received a phone call, but they have yet to play that phone call to say that they're telling the truth.
Right, because that will come in from 911, right? Correct?
Correct.
But it's not that they haven't released that or anything yet.
Yeah, as they were quick to release body cam video,
Mm-hmm.
partial body cam video, I believe, but the phone call just didn't come. If that was the case, if it was me, first thing I would have did was here's why we would, to try to let the neighborhood know it wasn't just targeting. This is why,
Mm-hmm.
and things of that nature. They didn't even mention to the news that the neighbor had called the police on the police. So it's
Wow.
just too many things that's being hidden to make this okay.
Yeah. Okay, now her phone. Now, was she on live with her phone, or was she just recording through her regular video?
She was recording, which was
Mhm.
a blessing. So hopefully we can get the defense attorneys to get a copy of that video, so that she will have it available for her legal team as well.
Right. Yes, I was going to ask you. Is it a way like? because I know like with the iPhone, so and then this depends on it may have happened so quick that she didn't have time to save it, or I don't know. But hopefully they don't delete it
Well,
before.
in order to delete it on the iPhone, they will have to have her account.
Okay.
Normally, it does save over to the iCloud, and hopefully that's the case. We don't want to, divulge too much because it
Right.
is
Yeah.
um.
Illegal.
I I can tell you that whatever they're trying to hide and cover up, we definitely are going to bring to light.
And one thing they used
Okay.
to with
Now, where do we go from here? Like this has happened. I know she has to have a court date, so she is she able to file charges on him? Like what's the
Of
next step?
we are definitely looking for all of that. The main thing that I want to do is try to get the state involved into
Mm-hmm.
the allegations here, or well, actually, hopefully, get the federal government involved into it, since we can already see that trusting the state as well as this parish to do the right thing is just
Not going to happen.
it's idiotic. So,
Right. I seen that Ben Crump actually attorney Ben Crump actually posted it on Instagram today.
yes, Ben Crump, he was notified. As of right now, her attorney is actually Mr. Ron Haley.
Okay.
He's gonna be representing her for now. If she decides to stay with him. Um, oh, and another thing, they were saying that she was refusing medical treatment, but that never was the case. Um, in fact, when we got her out of jail, the first place we took her was to the hospital, and by the time she made it to the hospital, she was confused, throwing up, sugar
Wow.
over 300. Like, it was bad. So now we got to look into the medical attention that they give prisoners in this area, because
Right.
this case is just bringing to light so much that
Mm-hmm.
it, to where we go next on her case is simple, but we got so much work to do in this area.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that it's unfortunate, but I think it'll be fortunate for others
Yes,
because it shine lights on shine a light on what's going on there.
right.
So hopefully it'll prevent others from experiencing what she experienced because that was just I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. And just watching the body cam, I'm like, oh my god, like this really did happen the way they said it happened.
Well, after learning his background, I haven't confirmed it yet, but I'm waiting on confirmation. I'm being told that he was actually fired from another parish that's adjacent to this one, Jefferson Parish, for actually knocking out a female there, and got
Right.
fired. He actually came over here. That's another trend that happens in Louisiana. You get in trouble, you resign, you go to another parish and work there.
I think that happens all around the world because I'm prior corrections, and that's definitely a one-on-one thing. They mess up at one facility, and then next thing you know, they transfer them out or allow them to resign or whatever, and then someone else commit the same acts.
Right,
It's like I feel like you should prosecute them, um, so that they won't be able to get a job in the field again.
correct.
But it's just one of those things. So she's waiting. I, I'm kind of baffled. I'm kind of pissed, honestly, because and for me, it's not about the white and black thing. It's just about right and
He's
wrong,
right and wrong.
and especially a male and a female.
With that
Like,
much,
yeah, it's definitely sad, and I'm sure, um, she's gonna, like I said, telling her to keep going back and forth in her mind. But I just pray that she'll be able to get some type of peace and some type of resolution to this. And I'm sure it's going to be an uphill battle. They're not going to just lay down, without a fight. But I just pray that the right team of people will be placed around her so that she can get what she needs.
we definitely have a super team going on, uh,
Okay.
without a doubt. One thing I can tell you is, like, first of all, big shout out to Baton Rouge branch for NAACP for allowing me to come out here and do this because this is a different parish.
Right.
Also, the YWA Baton Rouge chapter, they actually put up the bail money to get her out. So we definitely have people working to make sure take care of her and make sure this doesn't happen again.
So they hold on now. Hold on. Let me go back now, Jermaine. They actually she had to be bonded out. They actually put it in a dollar amount. They didn't release her own recognizance. They put a dollar amount. So somebody had to pay money to get her out.
Yes, she had a $20,000 bond total. To get out, it was $2,000 plus a $30 processing fee.
Now, are they able to recoup that back?
Yes, once she go to court, they'll be able to get it back.
Okay. So, oh, now, being that you are NAACP, what are you guys calling for? Are you guys calling for him to be fired, put on administrative leave? Like, what is the next step for you, as far as him immediately?
I want him fired, and it's not just for personal reasons. In my eyes, he's a danger to the community.
Correct.
One of two things are gonna happen. He's gonna lose control and kill somebody, or the neighborhood is gonna lose control and kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly all I'm going to say. It may be at the point where everybody's sick and tired of him doing what he does.
Right, and to be honest, like, and everybody watching, please don't do anything crazy. Like, we have gotten, reports of people wanting to do things and all that. That is not the way to fight. Please don't do that. We're taking care of
Right.
her.
Right.
Take care of the city. Please, please, please do not do anything crazy.
Absolutely. And I'll echo that. Please, if you guys are down there or whatever, please don't retaliate that way. Let's retaliate in the courts. Let the courts handle it, or whatever information you do know or hear of. Make sure that you get it to the right people so they can do what they need to do. And
Right.
make you guys' job easier.
For anybody that wants to give information on the case or background information about this officer, they can reach me on my Facebook page. Uh,
And what is his name?
Henry Seals.
Henry Seals. Sills.
Yes.
Okay. And what's your Facebook name so the people can know?
Jermaine Luckett, Jermaine, Luckett, Luckett.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Guys, if you know of anything, please reach out to him or somebody in the family or whomever and get them that information, because and no information is too small, you know.
Correct. Correct.
Um so how is Mary now? I know she said that she's, kind of hurting and she and dealing with a lot of health issues already, and then on top of this, what can we do to assist her to help her along now, if you know of anything?
Well, I can tell you that the love that everyone is showing has touched her greatly. She's voiced that. The main thing that we definitely need right now is to keep this in the forefront. Make
Right.
sure everybody that can learn about it does learn about it. This way, we can actually get the people behind us so we can make effective changes. Actually, firing an officer is not enough, and to get an officer arrested, you definitely need the people behind you.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now, have you guys spoken with the sheriff at all, or the undersheriff?
I have myself and also the St. Charles Parish vice president came with me, Mr. Jonathan. What's Jonathan's last name? I forgot his last name. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he came with us. We spoke with the assistant sheriff deputy, who basically fed us the same story that the news that fed the news. She would
Mm-hmm.
try to fight him. She turned around and hit him. He thought the taser was under her, but if you hand your taser off, and you forget you handed it off, that's your fault. That's not her fault.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, he definitely needs to be charged and reprimanded. But I think there needs to be and investigation into the whole department.
I do agree, which is why we are seeking for the state or the federal government to come in, because anyone that's complicit in the cover up is complicit in the crime. That's how I
That's
feel about
right.
it.
That's right.
So if you had knowledge about something and you lied about it, you're complicit.
Mm-hmm. Which is a big no no. Which is which causes which is a big gap in there, and it causes a lot of separation. So with that, you can't be trusted.
Right. So
So
you have no morality, and as a human, how can we trust you as a police officer?
that's absolutely correct. Man, I don't think I could say she's definitely in our prayers, and we will continue to share and keep this like you just said, Jermaine, in the forefront. Like, don't let it fall by the wayside, because a lot of times we hop on the first thing, and that's hot, and then after that we kind of go to something else.
Right.
But you have to realize that if we don't keep it out and keep it out in the forefront so people can see what's going on, then it's going to easily be forgotten about. And this does deserve some attention, a lot of attention.
Correct.
So but I'm thankful that you're there with her, and I'm glad that we actually had a chance to connect again. um and my prayers are with you too, because you have a stress, it appears to be a stressful job too. You in and out and helping people, when they're at times when you know it's a lot going on.
Right.
So I just pray that you continue to get added strength, and that you continue to be there for those who are in need of your assistance. um so are they planning any rallies or any town hall meetings or anything like that?
We are planning something for city leaders in the very near future this week, and next week we'll have something for not just the community, open to the anyone who wants to come and speak on this matter. I am calling for this to be placed on the agenda at council meetings, so we can
Okay.
involved, try to get an investigation through the mayor's office as well, or through the city council. Um, Basically, get it out of the hands of the sheriff. When I did meet with the assistant sheriff, they told me that they had already contacted IA and gave them the heads up that we may be coming,
Hmm.
which means I can't trust the IA division out here at all. So,
Absolutely not, because why would they call IA? Why would they call internal affairs
on themselves,
on themselves? Like
right? That's
that's
like
that's
calling them,
that's crazy.
like that's the only reason I would do that is be like, hey, look, be on the lookout for this and help me out. That's the only reason I would do it, and
Absolutely.
logically,
And that's a good idea, by getting the this case on the agenda for the city council, because if it's on a non-agenda, it's kind of like, we could talk about it, but they really don't have to really address it.
right,
So if it's actually on the agenda, it's they have to address it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people that's angry about this situation, and I'm not saying it's just black. It like taking color away from it.
Right.
Overall, a messed up situation, and there's a lot of people in this town that's upset about it and want something done. So I think it's imperative that we let them voice that to the city leaders.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think that this is going to be a turning point for a lot of things in that parish, and hopefully in parishes that are connected to it.
Correct.
Um, but I do know that no one will forget her name. Just like you said, color has nothing to do with it. So, and I think the more we, talk about it, the more that we put it before people, no one will forget what happened, and they will be eager to find out what happened if they don't know her.
Right.
So that, hopefully is one of the game plans as well. But can I talk to her before we wrap it up?
Hello again.
Hello. So you heard what Mr. Jermaine said. What do you want to happen from here?
I really want justice to sum it all up. I really want justice because I never thought me as the last person would have that done to him. But I want everybody else who went through something like this before me to get justice so it can all come to the light, like was spoken.
Right. So what you mean by justice? What exactly are you meaning? Like him being charged, or what it
Correct.
what
Him being
what
charged
you?
by, I mean, whatever it takes, really.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it takes because I feel like he did whatever it took.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So how are your kids in this whole situation?
My kids. I actually had my 9-year old, my 11-year old, and my 4-year old godson with me at the moment. They've seen it all. They're very traumatized. I will be possibly seeking counseling for them also.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't only affect you; it affected everybody connected to you,
Yes.
which is a big thing. And I think that's what a lot of times people don't realize. When you do something to somebody, you hurt basically everybody that's connected to that person.
Yeah.
And it's a trickle down effect. Yeah. So that's a good idea of getting them counseling though, because it can help them cope with what's going on, and don't
Yeah.
harbor any anger, because like a lot of times, even growing up, I don't know about you, but when it came to the police, your parents used to be like, you act up, I'm gonna call the police.
No,
So
they had that problem,
right,
but
so it's like,
problem.
with them, we don't want them to see. Huh?
I've seen my brothers have that problem growing up. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Exactly. But you're definitely in our prayers, and we're gonna stay in contact with you throughout this journey to continue to shed light on this issue, and hopefully, like I was explaining to Mr. Jermaine, that it's a turning point for your whole parish.
hmm
So I would just tell you, just keep your nose clean. Don't get
correct,
involved in anything, because that's what you don't want to give them what they want,
correct.
and they're looking for any little thing. So we want them to be held accountable, and whatever justice is we for you, we hope that you actually get it. And most importantly, your mental health,
Yes.
and just thinking about it. But like I said, we're gonna stay in contact, and it was I'm not even gonna say a joyous occasion, because it was not a joyous occasion. It was unfortunate. But um we're here. And if it's anything that we can do, even though we're in Virginia, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know, even if it's just, I don't know. Are you on social media?
Yes, I am on social media.
Okay, so even if it's a thing of, we need to share something, or you have something going on, just definitely keep us abreast to what's going on with you, so that we can stay in the trenches with you. So Virginia is behind you, and I'm sure other states are as well, because it's definitely not a race issue. It's a
Okay.
people issue.
Yes,
It's a
definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a people and a human issue, because just thinking about it, that it was like he had a rage, he had some anger,
Yes,
like
already built.
already built up. Like he
Yes.
was it's like he was beating you, like he knew you. You did something to him, or you was his
Oh
wife,
my
or
God.
yeah,
I'm like, you have a wife and kids, sir?
yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
sure, but it was all
yeah,
in the moment, and it was not good. I wouldn't wish it up on my worst enemy.
right,
That's
yeah.
definitely not wished up on my worst enemy.
I see somebody said Ohio is with you as well. So, like I
Thank
said,
you.
you
All
definitely have the the prayers and the backing of everyone. So stand on their shoulders and do what you need to do for you and yours at the end of the
I,
day.
I
So
will.
again, we'll stay in contact with you, and we pray that everything works in your favor. Massachusetts as well.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely. But yeah, so we are here. And I'm not saying it because we're on this call, but we're actually here. So again, I'm gonna stay in contact, and you have a good night.
Same to you.
You too. All right, Jimmy, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, bye bye.